Hi everyone, my name is Shannon Gorton and I'm the Creatrix and Creative Coach at Shan's Magical Makings. And today I'm going to do a page turn of an autumn journal that I made for a swap. This journal has been expansively added to for 3 months now, and this is for Carol Tinson in the UK, and Carol is the lovely entrepreneur of Crafty Emporium Designs. So Carol, here is a video, page turn of the autumn journal I prepared for you for our swap. Please enjoy. So when I was gathering up the materials, I had ideas along the way of how I was going to incorporate different techniques and the type of journal I was going to create for Carol. And as the time went by, I kept finding new things to add. Something would catch my eye, and before I knew it, this journal became so expansive. It ended up having 2 mini traveler's notebooks, 2 signatures, and a plethora of ephemera and embellishments and tags and little note cards and journal cards. Just a huge jam-packed expansive journal came together. And in the process of reviewing, I realized nothing I had was going to close the journal, to keep it closed. So creatively, I went to YouTube and started watching different videos and looked in a number of groups on Facebook for creative artisans, and a couple of groups that I admin and a couple of groups I belong to, and found some really awesome ideas. During the process of creating this lovely journal, I learned about boho beads and boho bead charms and started making them myself. And these are the first 2 that I made, and I think they're a little rough, but they're really pretty, and I just wanted to be sure that Carol got these. Now, you can absolutely take apart the beads and the charms and use them as you wish, whether you use them for your own projects or to pay it forward with a random act of kindness and give them away as well. But I just thought they were really sweet and a lovely addition. So what I've done is I've added them on to the side of the closure, which I created by hand stitching some snips and scraps on a stretch of probably 3-inch wide denim with lace down the middle. So I'll show you in just a moment how that goes. I also wanted to be sure that Carol had lots of goodies that she could use for her further creative projects. So this is actually a bead that can come off and she can use it for something else. This is a brooch. It's a little pin brooch that she can use or wear. I thought it was very lovely. Thank you to Debbie Ramey. Notions of Beauty for these lovely jeweled pieces, and a lot of my lace comes from the lovely Debbie Ramey, Notions of Beauty, here in the USA. So this is hand-dyed ribbon that I hand-dye a plethora of colors, and I found that this is the best way to keep the journal enclosed within this snips and scraps that I made to close the journal. So there isn't a closure on it per se. Now this is just another piece from an autumn journal that got me started creating this for Carol, so she can absolutely use this for something else, or she can take it apart or put it in the journal. Lots of little pieces there. So I'm going to move the journal aside for just a moment while we talk about, let's get it completely out of the way, while I talk about the scrap roll that I made. I just went ahead and attached the tassel, ran it through the loop. There's a ton of little scraps and snips. There's sari fabric, there's fabric from quilts that quilt projects, and different snips from I've received from RAKs and from other swaps, and I just sewed a bit of this and that in no particular order all the way through. You can see it's quite lovely. Now on the back, when before I had finished it, I decided I did not like just the threadbare. So I took a piece of fabric and I did a seam all the way around, and then I got some lace, and then I hand stitched them together. This piece, the lace, and then this fabric to cover, and it's hand stitched. It's definitely not perfect. So I just wanted to show you, this is the tassel that I created, and there's some beads on here, and then there's some charms. I just love this little teapot. I love tea, and I thought it would be nice to have a little friendship pot of tea for Carol and I. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this over here, and hopefully it'll block the glare. I do apologize for that. I need really good light when I'm recording videos, so I have to do the best that I can with covering that up in the meantime. So hopefully that'll do the trick. Okay, so for the album, I decided I definitely wanted to create a handmade album. I found this beautiful autumn fabric that I wanted to use, and then this is actually white lace that I dyed so that it looked a little vintage. And then on the spine of this, they're hand sewn signatures. There are 2 hand sewn signatures in here, and I wanted to cover that up. I didn't want those exposed, so I took some burlap and some fabric and some trim and stitched it together to make it kind of like the autumn theme and the colors. So follow that through. So then we opened this up, and I went ahead and borrowed this really brilliant traveler's notebook cover from JenofEve Designs, and she's amazing and very talented, and shares many of her designs and templates on YouTube and Facebook. So the first one that I did is I created, I'm going to move this over because I don't want little spoilers. So I created 2 of them, and this is her paper, JenofEve's paper, that I printed out. You can purchase it from her Etsy, and with a magnetic clasp. And she had a really great idea to use watercolor paper and stamp images on it. Now I went ahead and I took sheet protectors and cut them down to be the inserts for the little traveler's notebooks, so that Carol could have some watercolors that she could paint. If she was out traveling or out for a walk, she could take these in a little bag or basket and have these to do, some blank ones. I went through, and this page has 2, a top loader and then a half loader, and then that's the same, and then this one has the top load all the way down, and she can take these out and use this in her bag for shopping with coupons or little lists or little post-its, however she wants to do that. Now this is another half piece, and as you can see, I machine stitched and then decorated it, give it a little bit of pretty Prima washi tape. I just love that with the flowers. And this one is an open 3/4 with a little slide in. There's some empty ones here. And there's the wee little pocket. So then there's that. And then the other really cool thing that JenofEve did was she created a little travel palette. So I have lovely Derwent watercolor pencils. So I went ahead and I made this for Carol, and this is parchment paper. Parchment, yes. Wax paper. This is wax paper. To separate the colors. And I did all 72 of the ones that I have on here. So I thought that would be fun. She can use one of those aqua pens or a little brush that she can take with her as well. And so back to the album. I went ahead and glued this in because any paper that I put in, because I left room because I didn't want it to break down, and there's Tyvek in here. Let's hit Tyvek to make sure that it all stays together. So this is the first page, and cute little tucks in here. Now you flip this over, this is really sweet. You flip this over and there's some scraps of ribbon and fabric that Carol can use. And I thought this was really sweet. There's some more burlap here and another little tuck and some buttons and whatnot that Carol can use. There's another one. I wanted this to be a gift that kept giving, and I wanted it to be filled with lots of really neat little crafty goodies that can be used in other projects and can be given away, and also that there was room for journaling and pictures and whatnot. So this is eco-dyed paper that I eco-dyed at the beginning of the autumn season, before I even signed up for the journal swap. And I thought that was really neat that I already had this lovely paper. I did scan it in, so I have it on my computer, but this is the actual paper, the first time I ever did an eco dye. It's quite lovely, and I'm really pleased with how pretty and sweet this album has turned out. The little fairies and those little cards for journaling or for little notes. And this is a textured page that I did with some texture paste and some cheesecloth that I dyed. These are faux envelopes. I glued them down, but they're little pockets for inserts. This is an autumn gold cake recipe. There's still room for journaling and sweet little animals and whatnot. Here's another faux envelope. It is a pocket with some flour, and then another, there's a little bag that I made with a little hole punch, and there's some goodies in there, crafty goodies. There's a lovely example of the eco-dyed paper. Some extra string here. I thought this was really sweet, inspired by JenofEve. Some more little goodies that Carol can use for her creativity. Now this next page is one that I came up with myself, and it's eco-dyed paper. And then what I did was I took watercolor and used kind of a reddish I think it was Coral or Barn Door Tim Holtz Distressed ink, and I painted the leaf texture itself on the paper, and then I stamped some text, and then I stamped some fairy bud blooms, and then I put a gold wax over and let it dry. But I just really love the shimmer of how this this page turned out. Really sweet. I decided I was going to make like a little vase and fill it with little flowers and a little tag note for Carol. And this here is a little tag, and it says samples, bits, snippets, and scraps, this and that, and bric-a-brac, tags, tucks, pockets, and more, and hopes you will adore. Just thought that was a little sweetie for my sweet friend. Love this paper. Isn't that pretty? Lots of fun. I definitely wanted to have a ribbon bookmark, and I made it long enough because I really wasn't sure at the time. I could always trim it, I thought, but I'm glad that I did because it ended up being a very expansive journal. And I went ahead and made this, and I laminated it. It's a fresh corn, zucchini, and tomato salad, and it was our favorite salad over the summer into autumn. It's delicious, so I hope Carol enjoys that. And these are all laminated. This is a pocket, a sheet protector pocket, and there are two of them, one in the front and one in the back with some tags, etc. And when you take these out, you don't notice it's Carol Tinson's hidden pocket. I thought that would be fun. And this is a tag with a pocket, and there's some fabric in here, and I stamped some images. Just made it a little bit of fun. More of my hand-dyed ribbon. Places for journaling with some lace in between the pages. It's one of our leaves from New England. Just love this. Isn't that gorgeous? Just love that paper. And before the second signature is a stack of creative goodies, and this is for Carol, is little tags and a little note and etc. And then we go into the second signature. And the second signature, I definitely wanted Carol to have more space to do whatever she wanted within this signature. So this is some tea stained paper, some more of my eco dye paper, and some random paper put in here, mixed up, if you will. And gorgeous. This reminded me of wings. And then another pack of goodies for Carol. There's some great twine that I found. Some of my ribbon that I sewed together with some trim and fabric. And then that's it. And you can see, once Carol takes everything out, it's not going to be quite as expansive, but I really wanted to have a nice big chunky journal for her. Because I think she's so awesome, and I've learned so much, and she's a really neat lady. Love her video tutorials and products that she sells. And don't forget to check out Carol Tinson at the Crafty Emporium Design from the UK, and also Shan's Magical Makings here in the USA at shansmagicalmakings.com. I'm also on Etsy at Shan's Magical Makings, and that's www.etsy.shop/Shan's Magical Making. So the Etsy, the links are going to be at the bottom of the video. And then on Facebook, I'm Magical Makings Workshop. So that's it. And everybody have a wonderful day and make it amazing. Bye.